To the Putnam County Board of County Commissioners meeting and the Port Authority meeting. Before we get started, we have a few words by Mr. Suggs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to take a moment. Yesterday morning, we lost one of our own, Baker County Commissioner James Bennett. We lost him yesterday, and I just want to take a moment to reflect, if we could, just briefly. Not only was Mr. Bennett a commissioner for Baker County, he's a good man, family man, wife, children, retired DOT, worked for Jacksport. He's an engineer. You know, we can talk about all the things that we are, but the thing that we need to remember most, especially during this time of year, this season, is the importance of family. Yeah. And we got a family in Baker County this morning that's going through some serious emotions and some sad times, but I just want them to know that their Putnam County family is here for them if they need us, not only for the Bennett family personally, but for Baker County as well. As you know, Mr. Commando, our county attorney, also represents Baker County, so it touched his life personally as well. I just want us all to be mindful of that and the fact that there's nothing greater, nothing more important than family. Yes, and so thank you, Chair Wilkinson, for allowing me to have a few comments this morning before we go into prayer. And if we could remember the Bennett family in our prayers this morning. Absolutely.
Thank you for those words. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order, and we'll have our invocation by Pastor Etney Prieto from Putnam Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Harvey. Please rise if you're able to do so.
Let's pray. Our precious Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to serve in such a special way. We pray today for your wisdom as decisions need to be made. We pray your Spirit's guidance and discernment for us to always do well and to do what is right. Father, we pray for the Bennett family. We pray that you give them your peace, your presence, and you strengthen them during this difficult time. And so we pray today for your blessing over everything occurring here. And we pray this in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Going into the approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the minutes in our packet for October 28, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we will recess our Board of County Commission meeting and convene our Port Authority meeting. Approval of the minutes.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the minutes for the Port Authority, October 28, 2025.
Second.
Second. All right, we have any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, public comment. Is there any public comment on Port Authority items only? We're on the port discussion. All right, seeing none, going into item C, procurement. Is there any discussion?
Sam.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sam Sullivan for Port Putnam. Before you is a procurement bid for $75,000 to have the antique crane removed so that we can commence infrastructure improvements to open the port for commerce.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Harvey, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I fully support this idea, this award. We've been trying to get this crane removed since probably the day I walked in the building, and it's finally starting to come down. So it's been badly needed to come down for many years, so fully support that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Is there any other questions? Is there any questions or comments from the board? All right. Is there a motion on the floor?
Madam Chair, I move that we award the 26-01 crane removal, Port Putnam, for $75,000.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Any general discussion from the board? All right. We will close the Port Authority meeting and reconvene the Putnam County Board of County Commissioners. Presentations, One Book, One Putnam. We're going to have Commissioner Newbold read the proclamation, and if everybody from One Book, One Putnam wants to come on up to the podium. This is something that's done every year, and we all look forward to it. Thank you, committee, for being here today.
Today we have, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
We have Putnam County Proclamation Number 2025-113, One Book, One Putnam. The 2026 Putnam County read is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Whereas reading is an important activity for all the residents of Putnam County, and whereas less than half of the adult population of Putnam County now reads literature, the Board of Commissioners wishes to encourage all county residents, both young and old, to read. And whereas reading is one way to create bonds within a family and among friends and neighbors, we want to get everyone in the community, from high school youth, office workers, public officials, and senior citizens, to read and discuss a great book together. Whereas One Book, One Putnam is encouraging all residents to read Shelby Van Pelt's Remarkably Bright Creatures. It's a heartwarming tale of an unlikely friendship between a grieving widow and a clever octopus that leads to healing, connection, and unexpected discoveries. Whereas this program aims to revive literary reading in Putnam County, therefore, in support of this goal, there will be book discussions, community activities, and knowledgeable speakers. And whereas the Board of Commissioners knows that the residents of Putnam County will benefit and learn from reading this book, and whereas One Book, One Putnam is celebrating 21 years of encouraging reading throughout Putnam County. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Putnam County Board of Commissioners does hereby support learning through reading as promoted by One Book, One Putnam, and proclaims January and February of 2026 as the One Book, One Putnam County Reads Months. Done, ordered, and adopted this 9th day of December 2025. I would encourage we adopt this proclamation.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Say a little something.
Hey, Steve.
Hello.
Steve.
It's so good to see you. Happy holidays. It's a wonderful day in Putnam County, and it's a wonderful day to be able to talk about reading in Putnam County, because reading is so important, and anything we can do to encourage folks to read is vitally important. 21 years. I think that we are one of the longest running traditions in Putnam County as well. We have been at this for a long time. Behind me, before I forget, are some of the members of the One Book Committee. Chip, you know, he's sat on both sides of this wonderful experience. Todd Dixon, Roberta Chrisson, Helen Muir, Lula Gale Griffiths, and Joyce Oliver are a part of this group. There are some other folks who can't be here today, but it is amazing that we have been doing this for 21 years, because who knew? We would have thought, oh, well, we'll do this when we had grant money, we'll do it, and when the grant money runs out, well, we'll see. But here we are back once again, and I don't know what I would have done if you had not adopted the proclamation. I probably would have gone screaming out of here.
Yeah, we wouldn't allow that.
No, I appreciate that a lot. And the commission has been stalwart in its support of One Book, One Putnam over the years. The faces in front of me have changed over the years, but that support has never wavered, and we really do appreciate that. We appreciate the support of Stella and the library system and Misha for all that they do to make us so successful. And this year, I am truly excited to say that Shelby Van Pelt will be here for the finale. She is on a trip through Florida, and we are able to tag along on that trip, so we appreciate it. And I need to remind you that we are an all-volunteer organization, and we rely on donations, so someone from my group will pass the hat and, throw in those hundreds and
Right.
things like that to help us keep One Book, One Putnam going. But no, seriously, your support is invaluable. And like I said, the support from the library system is invaluable. And we've got a dance coming up, our book discussions in all of the libraries, and other stuff that we can't talk about yet, but that will be happening over the 2 months of the reading season. And if any of you came to the Christmas parade, you got to see me in the octopus costume, so you may see that pop up once in a while through the season as well. But it's just a wonderful time in Putnam County to encourage reading, to encourage all of our residents to read, to spend some time with what I think is a very unique book. It's very few books that I know about that have an octopus as the lead character, but I've learned through reading this book that octopi are extremely wily creatures. So come find out about the octopus and how it's all tied together. And on behalf of all of the members of One Book, One Putnam, thank you all so very much. And again, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you, Steve. I do want to say that as you're going through your season, please make sure and share your events that you're coming up with us. We'll make sure and get them out to the public as best we can. We've been trying to do that as much as we can. So anything you have, share with us, and we'll be glad to get it out in the community.
In that spirit, the kickoff is coming up on January 15th at the golf club. Don't know quite all what's going to happen there yet, but there'll be some surprises there as well.
Okay,
But
well,
that's the beginning of all of this.
Yeah, send us an email. And then the other thing I want to say, since we're discussing encouraging reading, and thank you for recognizing the library, I do want to mention that the library has an angel tree right now, and people can buy books and donate them, and those books would go to the children and youth that are at the Lee Conley House. So it's a very good program, and anybody who can help with that, I'm sure the library would definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, that's another long-running tradition, is the library's angel tree.
It's just beautiful. So I wanted to mention it while we had a few minutes, so thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Would y'all like a picture?
Sure.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, come up and smile.
I like the shirt, Steve.
Just tear it up.
Yes, and I haven't used this camera, so hang on.
Next, we have Rick Paul up with the Small Business Development Center.
Good morning, Commissioners, staff, guests. Rick Paul from the Small Business Development Center, 1100 Reed Street. Just a quick note on 1100 Reed Street, the Chamber is doing some extra hiring, so they need my office space. So I'm relocating into, I believe, the Downtown Historical District, probably the Business District. In front of you, you should have The fiscal year October 1 through September 30th document, it looks like this. A couple notes about this. When I first got here, I totally redesigned this, so it was one page and pretty clear and straight to the point. They've now changed the format. I don't know what the next format will look like, but when I get it, I'll be sure to present it to you. This was set up in columns, so it was easy to read. City of Palatka impact, Putnam County impact, me as a total impact, and then the impact for the whole University of North Florida region. I'd like to point out for Putnam County for this fiscal year, October 1 through September 30th, there were 82 Putnam County entrepreneurs consulted, 276 hours, 18 workshops, that's a lot, over 1,000 people attending them, 26 jobs created, 12 startups, and capital investment of $546,000 plus. Underneath the quarterly headlights. You see some of the little notes in there. Some workshops that I attended. What's missing on this particular one, because it was just held about a month ago, was access to capital workshop I held at the boardroom for the Chamber of Commerce. That was pretty successful. We had about 30 attendees for that. Also, what's not on here is Florida Rural Economic Development Association meeting I attended in Ocala. I'd like to thank Larry Harvey, Commissioner Larry Harvey, for his work on that board. It was a fantastic meeting. It always is. They continue to improve year after year after year. Secretary Kelly was up there giving us a lot of economic news, and he introduced Governor Ron DeSantis, who was talking about the rural initiatives that they're working on in the State House to help counties like ours. The good news about this is that if you look at your investment of $22,000, the Small Business Development Center was a good steward of your money, returned a 2,184% return on your money in order to generate the $546,000 in capital. I'm not sure how many other people you invest in that give you that rate of return, but I feel like that's pretty good. Hopefully you're happy with me and my services to the county. Other news is pretty important. If you remember last time I presented in front of you, I think it was in May, I had a success story on Sunshine Rail. That's Sunshine Rail Services LLC by Douglas Fournier and his family. The story, after I presented it to you, was picked up by Peter Willett in the Palatka Daily News. That story got 4,000 hits in the first 4 hours on the website, on their social media page. It had 24,000 hits in the first 24 hours. And the Palatka Daily News only has 24,000 subscribers, so it went viral. And because of that, I believe it was the state office for the SBDC at University of West Florida has referred the story over to Florida Trend magazine.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Good.
been rewritten, and hopefully it'll be showing up in a current issue of Florida Trend magazine. So keep your eye out for that. The letter I'm holding up, you can't really read it, of course, but I'm just showing it to you. It's I have nominated Doug for the Small Business Administration's Small Business Person of the Year Award. So that will be the regionally for our 18-county region here. Then it'll go statewide, and then maybe it'll go national. I don't know. But I think it's pretty good for Doug to come on board, hire local people to employ them, purchase the land and the properties and the equipment, and run a very successful business, which, of course, he started from scratch like 4 years ago. The good news is that he's still working on expanding, is expected to have almost 50 employees within about 5 years, up from about 12 right now, and revenues will be in the tens of millions of dollars on that. So there's a local homegrown hero for you for small business, and that really reflects on Putnam County, the residents of Putnam County, and building that infrastructure to help attract other industries. With that being said, that is primarily my report. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
No,
or
but I
the
just want to
staff?
say thank you. Thank you for giving us an update every once in a while. We appreciate that. That's definitely a good return on our investment. So
Okay.
thank you for sharing that with us. Are there any other questions or comments? Thank you for everything you do for Putnam County and our small businesses. We all know that small businesses are really the backbone of our economy. So thank you.
They are. Thank you all, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. You too. Ms. Lori Parker, Human Resources, Employee of the Month.
We're gonna have Ms. Young, Deputy
All right,
County
we will have
Administrator,
Ms. Young.
stand in for Ms. Parker this morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. It is my honor to present to you the October Employee of the Month for Putnam County to Miss Nancy Brown. Ms. Brown is here beside me, and I'm going to tell you that consistently I hear feedback from both our internal staff and external citizens that when they work with Ms. Brown, it's always working towards progress and resolution to whatever is happening. She explains things to citizens so that they can break down the process and understand the steps that are needed to take action to get them where they want to be, and does so very professionally and always very calm in her demeanor. Just really, really well representative of our planning division. And beside me, I'm going to present this to her, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Zach.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Zachary Baker, Development Services. Thank you for the continued opportunity to recognize those staff members who go the extra mile. Let's take an additional moment to appreciate Nancy, the county's planning technician, and at the beginning of my career, my mentor. While calmly reviewing permits, she was secretly shaping leadership at the highest level. Think of her as the planning world Yoda, wise, patient, and quietly steering us away from disaster, one corrected application at a time. Nancy, thank you for keeping us on track, teaching us with humor, and proving that behind every great executive director is a planning technician saying, actually, here's the right map. We appreciate you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Let's take a
Yes, we'd love a picture. All right, before we move into Public Works, I just want to recognize Tyler Nolan from the Northeast Florida Regional Council for being here today. Thank you, Tyler. Public Works, hearing to vacate an easement.
Madam Chair, may I ask?
Yes, please.
Mr. Stout, before we get started on this, I sent you some information. We talked last week about Mr. Dean and some problems he was having, I guess, with us. He wants us to vacate, but he was having some problems with the planning department and ditching and culverts and all kinds of things. My question to you then is the same now. If we do this vacation, are we hurting him, helping him, or do we even know what he's involved in at that point?
The only ditching, and I'd have to sit down with planning and development to see what they're specifically looking at, but from public works standpoint, his driveway that's already existing doesn't need a culvert for that driveway. And the
Okay.
drainage and utility easements that are on the property, he doesn't need to do anything with as far as we're concerned either for a site work permit to put the trailer on the property. So that's just something Mr. Baker and I will have to talk about. But from our perspective, we don't see an issue.
All right, are there any questions for Mr. Stout? All right, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak regarding the vacation of easements at 207 Lenore Avenue in Interlaken? If so, please come forward. All right, no one's come forward?
Madam Chair, I'd like to move approval of the resolution 2025-114, resolution of the Board of County Commissioners, Putnam County, Florida, vacating certain drainage and utility easements located at 207 Lenore Avenue in Interlaken Lake Estates, Fredericktown, Unit 16 in Interlaken, in accordance with Section 336.09 Florida Statute Closing and Abandonment of Roads Authority and Section 336.12 Florida Statutes Closing and Abandonment of Roads, termination of easement, conveyance of fee.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right, moving into agenda items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberation about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of the agenda. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance and should be submitted prior to the meeting to the deputy clerk who sits to the right of podium. Are there any cards on consent agenda items? Or any agenda items? Let me look. Okay. On Mount Olive AME, is it anything that's particular to on the agenda items? Okay, all right, and we're gonna do public comment once we get through with this. Thank you. All right, agenda items, does any commissioners wish to pull any items, starting with Commissioner Harvey?
I have none.
Commissioner Alexander?
I have none.
Commissioner Newbold?
Nothing to pull.
Commissioner Palacier?
I have nothing.
I will be pulling item D.
D.
Is in dog.
Madam Chair, based on that, I would like to move the consent agenda items A, B, C, E, F, G, H, and I.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the reason item D is resolution for substance abuse reentry facility. I just wanted to talk about that briefly so that the commissioners all had an understanding of how we got to where we're at. In 22-23, the state appropriated $1 million for what was titled for the project Putnam County Mental Health Project. That money was split, I don't know the division, but this is part of it right here, between 2 facilities. One of those facilities is what they call the Insight Building, which is the old, we call it, I guess, the old putt golf right out in front of the sheriff's office. That building, and then a building that the county owns, and both of these buildings are county owned, a building that the county owns that SMA uses. So 2 projects that will be going on for this, with this $1 million, and it is specifically tied to reentry program. And so the one is in partnership with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, the one out in front of the Sheriff's Office, and the other one is in partnership with the SMA. And SMA actually came and spoke. I hope you guys remember. They're going to have a 15-bed facility once it's done, and that'll help people coming out of the jail system to have a place to go and enter a program where they can get help, whether it's addiction. I think it's addiction and mental health. And so they'll have a place to go. So that's a big lift for us in Putnam County. I'm excited that we're going to have that. And then on the jail side, I just want us, Mr. Suggs, he stepped away, but if we can just get a meeting with the Sheriff's Department, I want to make sure that on the Insight Building that we're following the parameters of what we're doing, what we told the state we would do on that building. Particularly some of the things that we talked about in the appropriation was reduction of addiction rates among inmates, and several different ways we talked about doing that, whether it was through medically assisted treatment, providing them with resources in the community, And the whole purpose is elimination of repeat incarceration by the program. So that's the meat and potatoes of it. But if we can just work with the sheriff's office in the future for that. And I just want to make sure that we're following the guidelines of what we told the Florida legislature. Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Alexander.
I just wanted to share something regarding that. I visited the facility, and I've spent some time with the ladies out there, and just
You're
want.
talking about SMA?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I wanted to share a little success story. As most of you guys know, the Madam Chair and I have gone to a number of the drug court graduations together, and one of the graduates from the drug court actually applied and successfully secured a job with SMA to help the folks down there.
That's
Yep.
good.
Yep. So I thought that was a really bright spot for us.
Yeah, I agree. Commissioner Palacio, you're recognized.
Just to highlight that a little bit, I think this is very important to these people that are coming out of the system, and some of them actually truly have nowhere to call, put their head that night. And this is a great thing, and it's certainly a feather in our cap to support such a great organization doing such good work for these people that in their time of need, we're able to provide that. And I think it's a wonderful thing.
Thank you. Thank you. And I believe on the Insight program, and again, we'll have to meet with the Sheriff's Office, and maybe they could even come and give us an update as to what they want to do, or what they're planning on doing at that building. They can come and give us an update at the county commission meeting. With that, I move approval of item D, administrative budget resolution.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the consent agenda, item D.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Second. You got a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioner Harvey, for covering for me there. New business, acceptance of right-of-way on various county-maintained roads in Putnam County. Resolution 2025-117. Who is handling that? Here he comes.
Here you come.
Commissioners, these are various properties that are being split, and according to the Land Development Code, if they're not with the 33 feet of right-of-way, Land Development Code requires them to give that to the county for proper road maintenance, and that's just what's happening with these three properties here. We either don't have a right-of-way or it's not recorded, so we're just cleaning up the deeds.
And we have all the, I see them, all the deeds record. Okay,
Yes,
I got it. All right, is there any questions?
I move for approval of acceptance of the right-of-ways on various county roads, county-maintained roads in Putnam County.
Second that.
Do we have to read this by title?
Okay. How much of this?
Oh, you
do we-
said it. Okay,
Okay.
yep. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Code enforcement. Is there anybody here? Just speak on any kind of code enforcement items A, B, C, D, or E on code enforcement fine reduction request.
Madam Chair, seeing no one's here in the audience for the codes, if it pleases the board, I'd like to move this a little faster. Codes case number 2012-00260, the fine reduction.
262.
262.
262, I apologize.
Thank you.
Total enforcement was $10,012, and let's see, the property is now compliant. Board approves, we recommend the reduced fine to be paid within 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm fine with that if that's fine. Okay, so $10,012 if paid within 4 years on this case. That's my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
All right, let me get to the next one. Madam Chair, on codes case 2015-00324 is now in compliance. The total fine incurred is $34,970.34. Staff has calculated the actual hard cost to be $7,191 as shown. There is a tax deed on this, correct, Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so so right now we'll be taking money from the tax deed. The property owner has requested approval of the fine reduction, and that's going to be Thomas, I don't see your notes on here about how long.
The $7,191 will be completely paid because the tax
Oh, it's
surplus
paid
was
out. Okay, so-
7510.
So, Madam Chair, the motion is for them to receive, we've already got our money as $7,191.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Madam Chair, on Codes Case 2020-00718 is now in compliance. Total fine was $19,193.50. Staff has calculated the actual hard cost of enforcement to be $2,345 on the fine reduction worksheet. And staff is recommending that the property owner pays $2,345 if paid within 90 days.
Second.
Thomas, for clarity, I see in our backup document that says 718, but on our agenda, it says 178. What is the correct number?
718.
All right, 718 is stated.
718.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Madam
Thank you.
Okay. I'm a little slower. I'm working off the computer, and I apologize. So,
You're doing great.
Madam Chair, on Codes Case number 23-000650 is now in compliance. I'm sorry. The total amount of the fine was $20,118.50. Staff has calculated the actual hard cost to be paid back to the county as $2,069 and recommend a move that we accept that hard cost of $2,069 if paid within 90 days.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, the last one is Codes Case number 23-005267. The now is in compliance, and the total amount of the fine accrued is $16,168.50. Staff has calculated the hard cost of enforcement to be $1,743, and that would be the recommendation, and my motion is to be paid within 90 days.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. All right, public comment on miscellaneous items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberation about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of the agenda. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. Public comment cards are conveniently placed at the meeting room entrance. This should be submitted prior to the meeting to the deputy clerk who sits to the right of the podium. If we, first we have Tiffany Crozier. If you'll just give your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name's Tiffany Crozier. I'm at 195 Horseman Club Road. Thank you for your time to speak. I wanted to start by saying seeing many of you walking around talking to your neighbors shows that you truly do care about your citizens. And the problem that I'm bringing to you today, I'm sure that you will take seriously. I'm affectionately known as the squeaky wheel. And the problem that we're having, I was here, this is my second visit to these proceedings. I was last here in April. Our neighbors, I represent the neighbors on Horseman Club, which I believe falls under District 5. I'm here because our road continues to be unsafe, and the danger is growing. The last time I was here, I was approached after voicing my concerns and told I'd be more effective if I came back with a solution to the problem. So at my, I'm bringing back the same, pretty much the same solutions or ideas as a citizen, because I don't have that, not that education as I came with the first time, and that is visual and physical speed limiters. I've waited for the completion of the school to return with this issue. As I'm sure you're all aware, a beautiful new school has been built on Horseman Club Road. However, it seems that some safety measures and precautions are missing. There's no sidewalks, there's no traffic calming devices, no meaningful protection for children or residents. Next school year, which is in 8 months away, will be increasing traffic as well as the wear and tear on our already crumbling road. As of yet, there are no safety precautions in place. Right now, vehicles are traveling at speeds that do not align with the Department of Transportation's recommendations for residential roads. especially roads with a school and an agricultural event center such as the Horseman Club Arena. This is not just a concern, but it will result in a liability and a safety failure. The recommended speed for the type of area, according to DOT, is 25 miles per hour. We have a horse arena and now a school with a road with speed limits similar to that's right here on Crill, which has sidewalks and no deep swales that our Horseman Club Road does have. It's become a straightaway for motorcycles and trucks to race on. Heavy-duty semis and everyday drivers accelerate through the community, creating noise, fear, and danger. I'm sure some of this is due to good people who are just distracted and wanting to get to their location, whether it be home or work. I've been guilty of it myself, catching myself going a little too fast. This is why physical reminders are suggested, since police presence to regulate is not realistic. Our community has taken the suggested action. A petition is already in motion, and homeowners along the road are unified. This is not a one household complaining. This is an entire neighborhood asking for your protection. We're not asking for excessive measures, only proven safety solutions, including a turning lane off of Highway 19. We are the only road on 19 without a turning lane. Many times the car behind us uses the opposing turning lane to turn around us, leaving the vehicle behind with no visual warning. Because of the degree of the turn, you have to almost come to a complete stop. I don't want to go over myself again. It's my sincerest hope that the concerns I'm bringing to you today do not fall on deaf ears, but timely action will be made if it's not already in process. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
I have a little bit there I
Sure.
could add, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I mean, we're 8 months out. Mr. Stout could certainly shed more light on this than I could. I'm sure before they open school, there's gonna be appropriate signage, and speed limits posted and that type thing along Horseman's Club will have to be done. I just can't see any way that could go on without. As far as the turning lane on 19, I think that's a great idea, but there again, that's the state of Florida. That's not us, and we'd have to ask and, you know, see if we can get them to do such a thing, but that, again, that's a state property, not ours. Am I kind of right there, Mr. Stout? I thought you'd get the hint and head this way.
Good morning. Nice to meet
So,
you.
State Road 19's, yes, State Road as far as the turning lane's concerned. There will be school beacons that will be installed for during drop-off and pickup times for Horseman Club Road in front of the school. The right-of-way, we don't have enough right-of-way to do a sidewalk to go down Horseman Club Road. And if we're going to do reduction in a speed limit, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Commando, I think we'll need a traffic study in order to reduce that. And that's another cost that we'll have to do in order to lower that speed limit. Other traffic calming measures, I know it's been brought up, speed bumps of some sort or speed humps. We don't do that on our county roads unless you direct me to otherwise, but we've always stayed away from that just because they end up causing other issues that we don't want to mess with. I think I hit most of what you had.
St. John's Avenue has those speed rumbles. They have, St. John's Avenue has those rumbles. I guess that's what they're called, rumble strips.
Yeah, you can do that. Just, it brings attention to the speed, but it's not something that you would want someone to ramp off of it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And as regarding the traffic study, do we know that if the school board did a traffic study on that road?
I'd have to get with them and see if they did that. I know they have an engineered plan for the school beacons and where their location is based upon the current speed limit of the road.
Okay. Well, I
And
think
those locations
if you could find
could
out if they have
change.
done a traffic study, I think that we could at least take a look at that. Go ahead,
I know
Commissioner.
the school beacon if you change the speed limit on a Horseman Club, then the beacon locations would need to change.
What is the current speed limit?
35. So if you lower it, you still would have to, they would have to
More
move?
than likely, they might change the beacon locations.
Really?
Yeah,
So
with-
they go hand in hand?
With it being 8 months out, I really think we need to take and address this issue, anything that we can do. I actually was, I was raised on Horseman Club Road, so I'm very aware of the traffic that goes through there. It's dangerous. with the new school coming, I have some real concerns regarding the safety and the depth of the ditches and the right-of-ways. It's non-existent, so it's going to be a struggle, and I question whether or not they did a traffic study on that, and I don't know how well that was thought out. So anything we can do, I will gladly get behind.
Is there
Okay.
a reason why we can't do, or why the speed humps that are throughout even like Gainesville, Green Cove are not allowed in Putnam County?
We typically don't do that because of the possible accidents that they can cause.
That can be a liability.
So
Frustration.
this comes up in all the counties that I work in. And there are traffic engineers that have professional opinions that sometimes speed calming devices actually create more accidents. So I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just telling you that that's kind of there's another side to look at it that usually comes as part of your traffic study.
I'm
Okay.
afraid that the next thing may be another fatality of a child, and we're protecting the people breaking the law rather than the people who want to live by the law. So if there's something that you, as a commission, can come up with as a solution to slow people down on this road, this is a necessity, because we don't want to be grieving a child because we have lacked in getting into action.
Yeah, I understand. And in an effort to mitigate some of that, we do have a new piece of equipment coming online that hasn't been shared that will be distributed and placed strategically throughout the county as needed to hopefully calm some of that. I think Monday that will be shared. So it's temporary, but it can be very helpful in doing what you're trying to do.
Ms. Crozier, just continue to work with Commissioner Palacier on this, and if there's anything he can do, I'm sure he will.
I'll reach out to the school districts
To
and
see if
get more
there's a
contact for construction.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for your
very much.
comments. All right, next we have Mount Olive AME Church. Hey, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just give your name and address for the record.
My personal address?
Yes, ma'am, or a address for,
Jacqueline Hills. I live at 134 Cracker Swamp Road.
all right.
But I'm a member of Mount Olive AME, which is located on 115 Pine Street.
Yes, ma'am, thank
We
you.
have been there 125 years. Due to a water bill, we don't know if we will continue to exist. We got a water bill of $600.
A water bill?
A water bill.
Yes, ma'am.
$700 was the next one. The other one was $1,000. In the midst of this, I have been to the county 15 times. Since Kylie Wiley, I think is her correct name, has been there, she has been of great assistance. Prior to Kylie, nothing. We requested, could we cut the meter off till we get our problem fixed? We were told that's a crime. We would go to jail. That is against the law. So then I had a handyman to come out and look. Mr. Bellamy from Bellamy's Plumbing came and looked. We're still not sure what the problem is, but my concern is if they had just allowed us to turn the meter off, we would owe $600. We're there Sunday for 3 hours. I've gone back and forth, and I've only met, and I want to say his name's JT, once.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the first 8 times I went and asked to speak with him, I was told he's too busy.
Okay.
And I just don't think nobody in the county should be going through what we're going through. And my church, at the point of the beginning of this, we had 5 members. They're 90, 87, 78. And the other person, I don't know how they are. I was not living here at the time. But since my mom's 90, I have relocated, and I'm trying to help them fix the problem. I did speak to Josh, I ain't gonna lie. He was having lunch. He didn't know who I was. I just stepped out and started speaking because we wish to continue to exist, but we cannot with a bill of 3,000. At this point, it's up to $3,464. The other lady, who, and I'm glad I don't remember her name, who was no assistance, I asked her, should I take the meter up and have it examined, because I wasn't sure if the problem was on my side or their side. Why waste your money? And I'm glad she's gone, because she was no assistance to me in any. If you saw me coming in that building that many times, I'm trying to fix our problem. In the corner that we're located on, I went up one day with a shovel digging, trying to see if we had a leak that I'm not aware of. The worst person in that neighborhood who's on drugs got a shovel and dug with me, and I didn't find anything. Mr. Bellamy capped off a shower that's in the building behind, but nobody has been in that building because we've not had a pastor who stayed. I don't know what the problem is, but Mount Olive needs help. This is my new pastor, Reverend Samuel, who we've only had 2 weeks, so he stepped into this problem. But Mount Olive needs assistance from someone. I've called people who had money to pay bills. They could not assist me. I reached out to Catholic Services. I've not gotten an answer back yet. I reached out to, I want to say her last name is Ortez or something, Crystal. She had money to help people to pay bills. She said, I don't have anything. We're trying to pay it, but the 6 months thing is not going to allow 4 people to pay $3,000. There's just no way.
Yes, ma'am.
If the effort is there, yes, but we have to have money behind that effort, and right now it's not. And I just realized last week that you continue to get the bills, and that's why I came, because everybody don't understand that the bills are computer generated. So now we received something last week, and my 90-year-old mother is all excited because they're saying they're gonna cut the water off in 10 days.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted the board to know what we're going through.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hadn't seen you since we spoke at Angels. I was really hoping that no news was good news, but obviously it's not.
The last bill was over 1,000.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to address the comment that you said that the water meter could not be shut off or it was a criminal offense. Was that inferring that if you guys cut it off without permission, that was a criminal offense? Or
Yes.
what? Okay, but
Yes.
if a request is made to the county to cut it off, is that acceptable? Where are we at on that? Because if they're continuing to have a bill and they're struggling with it and they can't determine where the problem is, are we able to cut that bill off? Because I know you, at one time you said you had a well on site.
There is a well, and we added a cutoff valve. I added a cutoff valve to the annex, since they were saying that it was on my side, so I wanted to be able to cut everything off. I drove by at night to see if somebody had a water hose out there trying to see.
And we talked about that and setting up
was the
some
thing with the
cameras, but
uses.
I also have a question regarding the tie-in with that well, to the point that with the water issues that we have with the aquifer now, if that well isn't collapsing and allowing the city water to backfeed into that.
Commissioner Alexander, I see Mr. Suggs has got his
Yes,
his
sir.
light
Yes,
on.
sir.
I don't know if that'll help at all.
Yeah, I don't know, but listening to the conversation here this morning, this is the first that I've heard of this issue. It's the first I believe Mr. Grimes has heard of this issue. So if it would be good with the commissioners, and I think the best thing we can do is, I got my business card here to share. I think we need to have a conversation in the office, and let's see what we can do about finding out what the issue is and how we might be able to assist. That way there's no more back and forth about who might have said what and who didn't say what. I think we can work on this directly as administrative staff and see if we can get some assistance, at least figure out what the issue is being created from here. But I will tell you that the comment this morning that you made was actually factual, that if you folks turn it off without any authority, then that is
Yes, I
an
understand.
issue. I will find out from Public Works if anyone's requested to have that meter shut down, and I'll get with Mr. Stout, and we'll figure out what the issue is and offer whatever assistance we can this morning.
So Ms. Hills, what we'll do is he'll give you his card.
Okay,
and
because it was a request down at the office.
And he'll get
that
with
was the
you and you
statement
guys
made.
can sit down, and it sounds like that's the best way to go forward.
Mr. Suggs, thank you for taking that under you. Thank you. Ms. Hills, I hope that helps out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Congratulations, Reverend Samuels, on your new appointment.
Yeah.
Welcome to Putnam County in our beautiful community.
Yep.
All right, next, we have a, thank you. Thank you. Tyler Nolan. Thank you, Mr. Suggs.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good
Tyler
morning.
Nolan, Northeast Florida Regional Council, 40 East Adams Street, Jacksonville, Florida. It's nice to see everybody. I know a handful, pretty much everybody at the dais, with the exception of just a few. My name is Tyler Nolan. I'm a Special Projects Coordinator with the Northeast Florida Regional Council, and I have just been appointed by our office as your new liaison to the agency. It will be myself, our TD Coordinator, also Ms. Summer Jones, and so we will be in and around your meetings. If we're not here in person, we'll be watching them virtually. Really just kind of keep tabs on what's going on down here in Putnam County and finding ways that as an agency we can continue to support the great initiatives and things that y'all have working on. Some of the things that I have brought with me today is our legislative priorities have been completed and published. This is a regional look. You all send us your individual legislative priorities. We look at that across our board of directors and put that into a regional scope. So that way when you are working with the folks down in Tallahassee for the legislative session, you have some cue cards and some things to help you in those endeavors as we bring communities together across Northeast Florida and really work through those things. I also have our annual report from last year, which has been recently completed. So you'll have a copy of that. I'll leave it over here with your staff. And then my business card as well. If something comes up, you all get to see my CEO, Miss Beth Payne, pretty routinely. You all will have her phone number, but if there's something you ever need, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me directly, and I can get it up to our senior staff and see how we can assist you with some things. And then the last thing is we will have our Regional Awards of Excellence and Elected Officials Luncheon on January 8th. The awards were just decided at our last Board of Directors meeting last week, so it's very exciting that we are now in that process and getting ready for our next wave of elected official luncheon that we get to do every year. So, Madam Chair, with that, that's all I have for you. Just wanted to introduce myself and bring the documents and stuff that our staff has put together over the recent months.
Oh, great, thank you. And I would just say, I appreciate having Summer and worked with her before, so I'm glad that you two are teaming up with Putnam County. And then I would also say, we're always looking for funding. So if, as you're going through, besides your legislative priorities, if you see any grants or anything that you think would be beneficial to Putnam County, please share with us on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, and with that, thank you so much for coming forward. We're gonna take a quick recess. Thank you. are still in the middle of our public comment cards. We'll have Dan Steele next. Dan Steele.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Dan Steele, 202 May Lane, Interlachen, Florida. What we're here today is talk about the land that was purchased at George's Lake out there for $400,000. And Ralph will go into that for a minute, and I got some other issues.
So are you both, you want to, what are y'all doing? You speaking or he speaking? You went 3 minutes, he wants 3 minutes? Is that what you're saying?
We were both here about the same lake.
Okay.
Okay.
Ralph Hagee, 112 Paul Drive, Hollister, Florida. Okay, as you know, we're purchasing land for this lake, and I just I'm a fisherman, okay, and I have a boat, but I'm just more concerned about the money used for paved roads and fixing roads, because there's more people that drive than fish. I mean, I'm almost dead sure of that. But anyway, see here. Did anybody ever check to see if that land was partially swampland? I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but that was brought to my attention. But, and then, see, I'm thinking the better tax plan should be used for our roads instead of boat ramps right now. I mean, I understand it will, benefit some people, but I think we got to look for the majority of people. And besides that, Palatka is at a lot more traffic now. If you ever noticed, I'm sure you noticed that. We got a lot of more people here. So, and the main road right down here, downtown, needs to be resurfaced. It's bad through here. And I don't know whether we do that or the state does it. I don't know, but I'm just using that as a reasoning. And let's see something else here. About the cost of, now, if you buy the land, then there's additive costs, which they're going to have to resurface, and they're going to have a place for people to park. They're going to pave all that. Where does that money, does that come out of the better business? I mean, the better business, but that's another thing. But I mean, out of the better plan here, or do we purchase in that too? I mean, as far as the surfacing.
We haven't voted on that. We have not voted on that yet.
Okay, all right. Well, that's something to be aware of, and then see, extra cost. I'm more concerned about am my time up already?
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, I just think the money should be used more towards the roads because we got more people here and we need to be fixed.
Right.
I mean, we could do that another time, but I mean, there's more people that drive the roads than fish. I guarantee you. Thank you.
Thank you.
About
Mr. Steele?
George's Lake, way back in December of 2022, health alert issued for George's Lake about blue-green algae. Okay, and a little bit what it says right here, the blue-green algae blooms can impact human health and ecosystems, including fish and other aquatic animals. The agency said in its press release, I got it right here. Now, there was a sample taken on, I believe it was in March of this year. There is still blue-green algae in there, in that lake. And right here, it states that blue-green algae may not always be visible in a bloom, but it can still be present in the water. Now, people have been urged not to swim, let your dog drink it, or anything out there because it's a health hazard. Now, here we purchased a boat ramp. Did anybody know about this blue-green algae out there at the boat ramp? What's being done about it? Well, has anybody got an answer what's being done about it? Because you're not supposed to put your boats in it. If you do get in it, and people are gonna be getting in the water, you're supposed to make sure you wash it off. You can't even boil the water to get rid of the toxins from blue-green algae. It stays right in here. You can't even boil it. Doesn't do any good. So, kind of wondering about that. If there's going to be big signs put up out there, hazard to your health or what? If you put up a boat ramp there. Because a lot of people won't know about this. And you have people swimming in the lake, and getting sick and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people come from up north down here. And they're going to have their boats in there. And I'm just kind of wondering about the people's health in this county, about what they're going to do about it. Has anybody got an answer? Because I got the articles right here. And I don't know if anybody studied it. But it's not good for your health. I wouldn't get in it to swim. I wouldn't eat any fish out of it. Nothing. So, then also, that I've been out to that ramp. $400,000 for that piece of land. I don't know who was looking at it. I don't know, we got roads out there. In fact, 3 Sundays ago, this past Sunday, the wrecker was out there pulling out a fire truck on one of the roads. Got stuck out there. When our fire trucks get stuck, when they're going to a fire or to a house, and then we spend $400,000 for a boat ramp in Putnam County that the lake is affected with blue-green algae, I don't know where you people are coming from. So really, I don't.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Thank you. I'd like to get an answer on this blue-green algae sometime here in the near future. What you're gonna do about it? Because
Your
for
time's up. Thank you. We got your question. Thank
Okay,
you.
for 4 years now, we've had it in that lake, so it's all toxic. Okay.
Happy holidays. Going into appointments. Commissioner Alexander, do you have any appointments?
None today.
Commissioner Newbold?
None.
Commissioner Harvey?
I have none, Matt.
Commissioner Pelletier?
I have an announcement.
And then push your button.
I have an announcement. I appointed sometime back Larry Korn to the Fair Board.
Yes.
And due to some personal issues, he's going to have to resign.
Okay.
So I will be replacing him in hopefully the near future. I've got a few names I'm kicking around.
Okay.
So just want to make that announcement. But other than that, no, I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. And I don't have any. I did get a text from Clerk of Court Matt Reynolds. He apologizes he couldn't make it today. Going into County Attorney Rich Commando, do you have any comments?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. County Administrator?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair, I have a few this morning. Just quickly, I was requested to reach out to our commissioners about committees and appointments that they may sit on. So if you could possibly get that information back to me. Some of you already have. I appreciate that very much. I'm trying to put a list together so everybody knows kind of where we're at and who's doing what, so to speak. And so we can hopefully make our calendar a whole lot more accessible and help you five out in that arena as well. So I do appreciate the help there. I was challenged, tasked with working with the city of Palatka on a joint meeting. Did get information back from the city yesterday. Ms. Marcia Carty called me back yesterday. We're looking again at January 13th at 3 p.m. So here in our chambers. Some of the suggested topics that they had for the agenda, I think, are some of the things that we also wanted to talk about. One thing is municipal boundary service areas. They keep bringing that back up to us, and I think that's probably one of the things that would be on the agenda, possibly shared resources between the city and the county as well. Legislative priorities moving forward. They'd like to talk to us about legislative priorities, and then impact fees. I was talking with Zach earlier. I apologize for stepping away from the dais. Zach and I were having a conversation about the impact fees that the city of Palatka collects, and there are portions that will go to the county. We're going to have to figure out how we want to take care of that transfer of resources, and then the roads and all that they put down or service. I'm sorry, I'm getting the, is there, okay. My apologies, I didn't know if there was something I was missing. Then also, shout out to Commissioner Larry Harvey. Last week, I was able to attend the Florida Association of Counties Trust Dinner, where Mr. Harvey was recognized and received a very nice plaque for his several years. I didn't realize it had been that many years, sir, on the board. They had a lot of positive comments for our Commissioner Harvey, and I'd like to share one that I think is very instrumental and very important for all of us to pay into that trust. I believe the comment was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Harvey, or Commissioner Harvey, was since Mr. Harvey's appointment to that board and serving on the claims committee, our claims for the trust have gone down 31%. Wow. That's a huge number, folks, and one that absolutely needs to be recognized. He's done great work. He was absolutely rewarded with comments the other night, and I was privileged to be there, blessed to be there. And I understand now Mr. Commissioner Newbold is stepping in on that as well. Mr. Newbold, they've all, I don't know how your meeting went Friday, but I can tell you Thursday night's dinner said that whatever needs you had or help, that they're there for you. And so I think you're stepping into a good group there, and it's going to be interesting, moving forward.
Well, I've got big shoes to fill. Larry was excellent in that capacity, and I'm just glad he's here to help me if I have the need. So thank you, Larry.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Madam Chair, if I could take a moment
Sure.
of privilege, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
You know, we've had one of our citizens. He's reached out to myself. He's reached out to Public Works, Mr. Stout. He's probably reached out to the commissioners, especially you, Madam Chair, with some, let me just say, some outrageous claims. Okay? The gentleman has decided that he thinks he needs to go on Facebook and post nasty comments and photos. And listen, we live in a world of social media. That comes with the territory. But if you want to make these outrageous claims that no one is listening, no one's responding, no one's trying to help you, well, I'm going to defute that this morning. I'm going to tell you that he claims that no one's called him back. Well, I've called him twice. I know Mr. Stout has returned calls. You know, I didn't receive a call from him. I actually called him back from a message twice. Offered to come out, schedule an appointment to meet with him on his property to discuss whatever issues he thinks he may have from our Public Works Division. The quote that I received was, "I don't want you on my property. I don't want you out here." Followed up with some very nasty language, some very colorful language, and I'm okay with that. But if you want to go on Facebook and bash my staff and my commission, you better be prepared for the consequences of that. So this morning, Mr. Mayor, if you're listening or you're watching, you obviously have my phone number, but I'll give it to you again because it rings directly on my desk. That phone number is 329-0208. I'll be more than happy to schedule any further conversations, meet with you on your property, discuss whatever you think we've done wrong. I will tell you that we've also site visited without him knowing that, just to go out and take a look, and what we found was absolutely nothing. So I, again, want to let my commissioners know that if Mr. Mayor wants to come back in our office when none of us are here and chastise my my young lady that sits at the front desk and use colorful language. Again, I welcome the opportunity to have that conversation with Mr. Mayor directly. So there's where we're at. And a little upset about that this morning, but if you're going to challenge my staff, myself, and my board, be prepared for the consequences. So next I will say this. I want to close on a positive note. I love my staff. I love working for this board. We're in the midst of holiday season. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and please remember to hug your families at night, because as we all know from yesterday, we are not promised tomorrow.
That's right.
So I love each and every one of these folks. So Merry Christmas, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. And Administrator Suggs, before I go into Commissioner comments, I will say, and whether you're in your personal business or you're working for the government, you don't have to tolerate people that are cursing at you. You just don't have to do it. And it's not fair. Everybody's got their own job to do, but if our staff receives phone calls, and I know we get some hard phone calls, but when we get those phone calls, if they just need to escalate them all the way up to Administrator Suggs or their director. In this case, it was Mr. Stout, and then Mr. Stout he did call this gentleman back several times, and the gentleman still, and I'm using that term loosely, the gentleman continued to use foul language, bad. And so it went up to Mr. Suggs. Mr. Suggs returned the call. But at the end of the day, we're humans too. Just because we work for the public doesn't mean that the public gets to curse and use foul language at us. We can have civil discourse, we can disagree, and we can move on, but it is not going to be tolerated. So thank you, Administrator Suggs, for standing tall in your comments. With that, we'll move into Commissioner comments. I had on the agenda, this is just a typo. What I wanted to talk about was the county committees that we're on, not the Florida Association of Counties Trust appointment. But we're going to visit that again in January. Like Mr. Suggs said, we're going to get those together, get all those committees that we're on, and then look and see if there's any committees that anybody doesn't want to be on, or how we want to move forward and divide up the work a little bit on that. And with that, we'll go into Commissioner comments. Commissioner Alexander, you want to start?
Yes, ma'am.
A for first.
Well, I usually got to sit close to the teacher, so I had to go first anyhow. But just with Mr. Suggs' comments, you know, we all get excited and we get upset, but again, as staff has seen, as the commission has seen, if you treat me like a gentleman or you treat the rest of us up here like human beings, then that's how you will be treated. We have a passion for this community, and we have a passion for our staff. Mr. Suggs has seen me stand up for staff and take some calls that where someone had been rude to our staff, our receptionist. And, you know, you step back and you ask yourself, what if that was your daughter and somebody spoke to her like that? Or your son, or your brother, or your sister? How upset would you be? And that's kind of the attitude that we take, because every one of us up here, though we may disagree from time to time, we still function similarly to a family. Maybe a dysfunctional family, but we are a family, and we're trying to do things the right way for this county. So please, before you make comments and accusations, give us a call personally. Don't take it out on staff. My number is publicly available. I'll give you my personal cell phone number. But I would rather you call and get upset with me than any of staff. And I'll do my best, as I know the rest of the other commissioners will, to make it right, or at least help you understand our position on things. So, but just thought about that after Mr. Suggs' comments. We will help any way we can, but we will defend our staff if they are in the right or if they have been mistreated. Moving on, I wanted to get an update on the VA services move. Have we had any progress on that, or we talked about it anymore, JT or JR? Mr. Grimes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're really at a point where we have to make a decision. We got to send it out to bid. I mean, we've got a basis of design. I mean, we can put it, if you guys formally want us to send it out, we'll absolutely send it out, but it's got to be, a lot of times when the first question is when we're in that room is, what's the budget?
Okay.
We don't have that, right? So we really, I mean, how much is it gonna cost? Really don't have any idea, but I mean, usually during our budget season is when we put these budget numbers together, right? I mean, this one was kind of after budgets were already completed, so we don't really have a number, right? So us putting together a plan, we have got a conceptual for design, but there's got to be some funding in behind it. So if you guys want to, you're gonna have to say, okay, guys, we're committed, we're gonna put funding behind it. Because right now, we're gonna put a bid out on the street, and we have I don't have formal action from you guys to fund it when we bring it back, so it's really wasting a lot of time of your contractors, your vendors, and all that stuff to put a proposal together with no funding. So we have a conceptual design we showed to you guys, and that's as far as it went. So we need board action to give us dollars, real money, to put behind the project to move it forward. Until that point, we're just kind of in a limbo of how do we want to move forward. We've got a conceptual for design. We can go after design build, which would probably be the best, probably the quickest route for us to do this one, and bring back some. What they would do is they'd bring an engineer and a contractor back as a team. They would bring it back. They'd bring us back a proposal, and then we would issue at that point the lowest one and bring back to you guys for final award. But we don't have a budget. Is it $10? Is it $1 million? I mean, what is the parameters of what you want us to work within?
Okay, thanks, man. So could you present us a budget number that you think would cover that cost? Because I can't just commit to a random number, but
Exactly.
I mean, I need to know kind of an idea of what we're talking about spending. Is it $1 million, $5 million?
I think you're probably, for that space, I mean, as a starting budget number would be probably around $200 a square foot. I mean, that thing's 2,500 square feet. I don't have a calculator in front of me. I mean,
Julianne, excuse me, Ms. Young does.
I think you're probably gonna see it's gonna be around $500,000. I mean, shooting from the hip with fireman math as I get accused of using all the time.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use fireman.
No fireman math.
That's what that comes up to. You can do that in your
Yep,
head.
$500,000.
$500,000, okay. So what we would need to do is board action to approve $500,000 to move forward with that, correct? There we go.
So, if the board would like staff to prepare to move forward, what will happen is we can go ahead and release or begin drafting a design build contract, and at the first meeting in January, we'll bring back a budget resolution to move the allocated $500,000 budgetary estimate into a line item, and then it would, from that, the process, design build procurement would go out, staff would assemble a team to evaluate, and then at some point, we would bring back to you a contract that would show exactly where we are, given everyone's knowledge that if it comes in a little bit more, then we would have to add more money. If it comes in a little bit lower, then we could release a little bit of the money.
So today, would you need a wave of support, or do we need to bring it back before the board at the next meeting for a vote to approve the $500,000 plus or minus?
The budget has to be formally approved by the board.
Okay.
If the board would like staff to move in that direction in advance of that board meeting, we could begin drafting that design build proposal. With the holiday season and contractors, I hate releasing procurements right now anyways.
Absolutely.
So I would not want to necessarily release it until that first week of January, but we could have everything lined up at that time, both budget resolution and the procurement on the street.
Okay. Topic number, okay, so I'd like to,
I just would like to clarify that that's just a rough number straight from the hip.
we understand it's fireman math. We get the fireman math.
I want to say, I mean, there's potential you could get it for much less, and I mean, it just all depends.
My wife
right?
is
So
very
that's
familiar with Josh math too, so it's
Okay.
very similar. I think we went to the same school together. But, all right. Topic number 2 is the IT move. Are we in the same situation with that, or have we gotten a conceptual design on that, or where are we at on that one?
So we're still working with the IT department. Mr. Ritchie is actually out on a conference right now. So they've brought back a few preliminary designs, and we're going through that same process of what's needed, what can we make work, how do we get this into a situation where we fulfill all of their needs, but do so in a very fiscally responsibly manner.
And I know you guys are. And again, I want to commend you guys. If the people in cyber world aren't aware, our animal control facility was built somewhere under $2 million, and our neighboring county spent $21 million to accommodate a similar number of animals. So these guys are doing a good job as far as getting the bang for the buck, and I'm very, very happy with that. So you're saying the IT move is probably a step behind the VA services move at this point. We're waiting on the conceptual design and then So maybe a couple meetings away on that.
I would absolutely tell you that veterans is far more shovel-ready than IT is.
Okay, good. I want to stay on top of these
Of course.
projects and keep the public updated of where we're at and staff updated where we're at on those, because those are both close to my heart, near and dear on those. And with that being said, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm done.
So,
I guess I'm not
Got
done.
two
Here we go.
so-sos.
Yeah,
I got them both excited now.
We talked about it, but I would really like a wave of support of who wants
What are
us
we
to
doing?
move forward,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So that's
I thi-
kind of.
No,
make a motion?
wait,
Uh-oh.
time out. I think, I have comments. Not that I think I have comments, I have comments.
We know you do.
We know we do. So it's easy for us as a board to say, yeah, we like this project, and yes, we want to spend money on this project. But at the end of the day, I feel like we've got several things going on. First of all, we have a lot to consider. We have a lot to consider. We've got, we have no idea what's going to happen in Tallahassee this year with property taxes. As you know, the governor is proposing to remove homesteaded property from the tax rolls. If that moves forward, our budget going into the next year is going to be, or could potentially be, drastically different than what it has been so far. While we have some money in reserves, I think we have to be very cognitive of how we move forward as a board, because we all have these projects, and I talked about this before, that we want to see come to fruition. And so we had conversation, and what that did is that got us the ones that we had already discussed and approved, we got them in the budget. And so we got a capital plan this year, and we didn't have a capital plan before. So we have that. All the things that we're talking about now, including these, and as much as I support these and other ones that we've talked about, we need to sit down and I feel like plan and say, okay, if we put this together and we put this together and we put this together, what's our total number, and do we have enough money and resources? Because what's going to happen is we're going to say we want to move the IT, we want to move the VA, which I support both of those, but at the same time, we don't know that we're going to have the funds to do that. While we might have it in reserves today, but then the next project that you want, you're not going to have the funds for. And so it's like you got to know what's in your checkbook. And so that's the challenge I have. And so I don't want us to just wave in support. Again, I know that simply says they could go out to bid, but then to Mr. Grimes' point is you go out to bid and you've had contractors, and if you've been in the private business and you're bidding on stuff, you have some sense of, oh, I might get this bid, and there's some hope there, and I don't want us to be falsely giving hope, I guess is the way I would say that. So I almost feel like we need to have a planning session about all the projects that we want to work on as a board, and then get an idea of what those cost and know exactly what our bottom line number is. Again, none of these items, those two items, were in our budget going forward.
I understand completely. I am very conservative on the fiscal spending, but we need to know what these projects are going to cost so we can accurately evaluate their worth compared to the other projects we have out there. And we very well may have less revenue, but there are certain things that we still need to get done for our staff.
So let me ask you this, for instance, let's just take the boat ramp that you support in East Palatka. What if you were told that if we did one of these moves, you couldn't build your boat ramp?
Again,
And now we've already spent money for that plan and project.
I understand. And so
That's
so
the
that
challenge that you have, because
absolutely.
you don't know what your checkbook is.
We don't. And so Sam and I are engaged with FWC now on a BIP grant. We were kind of late to the dance last year on it. So he and I got started a little earlier on this one, and one of the biggest factors that we had securing that funding last year was the fact that we didn't commit any, we didn't have any skin in the game. This year we do, because we've committed the money for the engineering and permitting phase of it. So, everything is always up in the air when it goes with a grant, I'm learning. But based on my conversations with staff and with Mr. Sullivan, I feel like we've got a much better shot at this.
We do, but that's not going to fully fund it.
It may not fully fund it.
It's not even going to fund $1 million of it. At
I
the
think
most,
it's
if you look back
I think
in
it's right at $1 million on that one.
Is it right around 800,000
Yeah,
is the
right around,
most they've ever awarded that I could tell in the research.
Yeah.
So I'm just being cautious on this. is
No,
all I'm
I
saying.
agree, and I appreciate that, and that's, again, like I said, when we've discussed before the projects that we have outstanding, a huge goal for this commission is, as Mr. Harvey loves to say, bringing this plane into land, and we really need to finish those before we fully commit to doing anything else. So I appreciate Ms. Holmes' update, Ms. Young's update quarterly on the projects and where we're at and what we need to do to finish those. So again, you don't want to spend any more of our reserves than we have to because staff has fought so hard prior to my election, Mr. Newbold's election, and Mr. Pelosier's election to secure that surplus for us, and we do not want to spend that frivolously. And I agree, we do need to evaluate the priority of each one of these. So,
So maybe just after, I guess what I'm asking is instead of doing a wave in support right now, maybe we revisit this in our January meeting and then have and set a time that we can sit down and go over all of the things a workshop that we can discuss all of the things that we're wanting to see in the next, that's not included in our budget.
Yep, the goal of my comments today was more so to find an estimate on the costs. So when we do sit down and evaluate this, we're not just grasping at straws, and I want an accurate or semi-accurate number on what these are going to cost, so we can look at them as far as and compare them realistically, numerically, to what else we have outstanding, and then we can prioritize them, because the cost is definitely going to make the priority different. So if it's an exorbitant cost and we can get 2 of these and 1 of these, or vice versa, we need to make the best decisions for the community. So that's was really my goal, is to find out what the total cost of these is going to be, and is it more important that we address these issues before we move forward with the others issues. So I would prefer to see that.
Okay, well, you have the floor.
Okay, I'm good. That's all. I would like to see a better estimate on those. Do you have a way to secure that for us, Mr. Grimes?
The way to secure the estimate is to release the proposal, or is to release the procurement.
Okay.
And to release the procurement, we need to have some budgetary estimate. So I can tell you, I mean, roughly from what we do as far as projects that we've seen, I think you're gonna be close there. So if it's worth the allocation of the 500,000 for this project, then we will bring you a board item back in January and release that procurement. If you're not certain that it's worth that to you, then we will wait for further direction.
So the way that we do our budget request, appropriation request for Tallahassee is we prioritize them. So based on that, I would like to recommend that we schedule a workshop, and each commissioner bring in what their goals and their asks are, and our current projects that are outstanding, and we sit down and basically hash it out if the board so approves.
I agree.
Okay,
Would you guys be okay with doing that?
yeah. I mean, you're making a motion for a workshop.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for a workshop regarding existing projects and upcoming projects.
Okay,
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or comments? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll do that. We'll set that sometime in January.
Madam Chair, because we're talking about 2 things. I think it'd be just wise if we're gonna sit here in the room and discuss priorities of the commission is, why don't we do it in every division, right? Because we're just talking about IT and veterans. Let's talk about parks, let's talk about fire rescue, let's talk about them all, right? It's truly, then you formulated what they call a plan, right? And then when we formulate a plan, we're able to budget for it and things like that, to where we can actually see these things come through fruition, right? It's not just 2 buildings today, right? What are you guys' vision for 2 years from now? Because then Ms. Young has the ability to start
Right.
formulating that budget to make that happen,
We
right?
have a-
So
we-
I
that's
think we
it.
did a great job in the leadership we had to building a budget for this year. You guys have funded more things in this year's budget than you've ever funded before, right? So moving that forward, if we have a plan for 2020, I guess it would be 2027, I may be off a year, but 2027, these are the things that we can just go ahead and plug in those numbers, and then whenever it comes time for budget season, this thing's done, right?
Right.
So even if you stood in January, hey, let's do veterans, let's do this, it's January. We start building that budget in March. You guys approve it in July. So it's a way forward so that the rest of your staff knows what y'all's vision is, right? Because if we don't do it but one time a year, maybe bring all your department heads in here and go, okay, guys, here's our vision, where do you guys see it fitting perfect? I think it's a great opportunity in all divisions. I mean, because, I mean, we're spending a lot of money at Francis, right? The ballpark out there. Maybe we need just that little bit extra to get us over the hump there. Maybe it's just a little bit in Dunn's Creek. We don't know until we know what all you guys' vision is as well. So, I mean, once we lay it out there, I mean, you have a strategic plan of your next 5-year capital, right?
Yep.
What is it? Because then we have a number that we can usually try to plug in, and it makes our world a lot better.
Right.
Especially in the financial world, when she has a plan, it makes it so much easier, because like right now, I mean, you guys funded Dunn's Creek State Park, right, or not the state park, I'm sorry, the boat ramps in Georgetown, right? We know what we're working inside of. We know the parameters. So when we put it on the street, we can go ahead and get rid of 2 steps when it's coming to you guys, because we can go ahead and value engineer and bring you back a budget or a project that fits inside the budget, and then you guys can approve it and we can go to work, right? So it really does make things line up a lot better when we truly have a true strategic plan from you guys on how we want to do the capital plan, especially moving forward in all divisions, not just 1 or 2.
Okay, so I think that's what we're discussing is having a capital plan
Workshop.
workshop.
So if I could, so what I could do is amend my motion and request that you guys bring in the request or the information from your department heads to that meeting, and you guys join us in this workshop.
Sure, I think we can bring our ideas, but you also need to bring yours so that you guys have a vision too, right?
Absolutely,
Our
yes.
departments have a vision, and hopefully they align in this
That's
meeting's
exactly.
45 minutes and we're done.
Right.
But, I mean,
Mr. Suggs, you're recognized.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. And first of all, spot on, Mr. Grimes, Deputy Administrator Grimes. This is exactly what we did this year. If you five remember, we brought a robust capital plan with a lot of those projects already budgeted to you for you guys to approve. Believe it or not, it seems like it was just yesterday, but we're 4 months, 5 months away from designing the next budget. So I think this is a very germane conversation to have today for us to be able to start putting that next budget together with the dollars we know that we have resources and that we can allocate. So I think, you know, it may seem like we're pushing this down the road some for example, for Veteran Services, but we're truly not.
No.
I mean, Veteran Services has been doing a tremendous job in the facilities that they're in. We want to be able to expand those facilities in order to be able to give them opportunity, hopefully, to expand their services. But if we have to wait another 4, 5, 6 months to get this worked out as far as a budget, I think it would behoove us all to do that. And so, again, I think Mr. Grimes is spot on, and I think moving forward, having a workshop where we know what your desires are as a board versus in conjunction with what our needs are as a staff makes a whole lot of sense moving forward. So we're not allocating dollars that we don't have access to in the near future.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. That is the goal. And, you know, thank you guys for your input.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to get the ball rolling forward. I understand, I'm beginning to understand that it takes a little time with government, and we have to work through these processes. So.
You know it does, but we do it the right way.
Yep.
I will say you five elected, and then the staff that you've allowed us to assemble on this side of it, we work very diligently, and we work very closely with you five to make sure that we're providing the citizens with the service that's not only required but expected. And I think moving forward with these type of conversations, especially going to a workshop type meeting is very beneficial.
All right.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for humoring me on that. I mean, again, some of these discussions we have to have in here, and I'm not trying to extend the meeting, but I just wanted to discuss that and get some input from staff. So should I amend that motion, Madam Chair?
I think sounds like we're gonna be working on we'll schedule something, it sounds like, in the near future.
Okay.
I think we're good. I don't know that we necessarily, I think we're good.
Okay, good deal. That's all I got, again.
That's all you got.
That's
I know how you are. I know how you are. What's gonna happen is somebody else is gonna comment, and then you're gonna go.
No, but I do commend Mr. Suggs for stepping in and helping the church, Mount Olive, that came forward earlier, and I hope that we can get to a successful resolution for those guys. That is a long tradition of a church in our community, and hopefully we can find a resolution that works for both. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Alexander. Commissioner Harvey, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to thank this board and previous boards for allowing me to serve for the Florida Association of Counties Trust. It was a real honor to use my experience. Commissioner Newbold will do a fabulous job, and I will be there to help you as I move up the ranks of the Florida Association of Counties second VP. So that's a good move right there. Do want to talk to you about the Melrose Music Festival. I know you've gotten probably 1,000 emails, at least about that. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Grimes because we did get a copy of Alachua County special use permit, and every piece of that property, not every piece, the property they're going to use is going to be in Alachua County. But there is a little piece in Putnam they're not going to use. But I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Grimes. And if you will, Mr. Grimes, if you'll.
So I think the best way to start is none of this stuff derived here, right? It didn't go through our special use process. It didn't come before your staff. This was already basically worked through their side. Myself and Ms. Young went out to Melrose last week. I pulled a random person that I think is very active inside that community out there and goes, what's the deal? He told me he's attended every single one of the meetings. A lot of it was environmental and concerns, whether it was through, what are we going to do with waste, during the time. But they said they addressed that. They're bringing in the portable bathrooms and such like that. Everything was going to be primitive camping. People could use the temporary facilities for that. Also, they were going to bring self-contained like RVs in. So all that was addressed, I thought, very well from the company through the gentleman that I spoke to. And we didn't know about any of the meetings until after the fact. It was already basically through the process. To Commissioner Harvey's point, very little of it is in Putnam County. I think the only portion of the project that's in Putnam County is actually a wetland. So it's not being used. They do have emergency services access established off of a particular road that goes into the property that is not the same as the entrance for the general public. So they have that established. They've worked with the fire department in Melrose and Alachua County Fire Rescue to handle those portions and pieces of it. And I said, how many people are you really expecting? And he said 3,000 to 5,000 people a day to come into there and to go to this music festival. And I said, what's the difference between that and when the University of Florida plays a football game in Gainesville on Saturday? He said, none. I said, do you have RVs and stuff like that come through your town and, people that travel over, right there? And he said, absolutely. He said, it's probably not that much of a difference. The main entrance into the property is off of County Road 219A, which I believe is in Alachua County. Didn't seem like a big deal. It went through their development review. I think there's one more meeting, maybe potentially it has to go through at the board level at Alachua County. But none of it was really here. I talked to our sheriff, went over the plan that I'd heard that there was the facts from the music festival. Talked to the guys at this company, that Wildflower Inc. has like 4 properties around the country. Their objective and goal was to bring the community together and give them something to do. Every one of those, they researched it. He researched it and said they were all successful. They all just did exactly what they were supposed to do. If the question becomes, how does Putnam County handle it from an emergency services standpoint? Just like we would if there was a block party downtown or a Blue Crab Festival or anything else. If they would have came before us, we'd have made them put on a special event unit. We'd have had extra law enforcement presence, but it's not ours, right? How would we handle it if it happens? The same way we would anything else. And a disaster can happen in this county at any given moment. Is our fire rescue folks are prepared? Our sheriff's office is prepared? We'll handle it. I mean, that's what we have to do every day. I mean, we don't get the warning, hey guys, there's going to be an emergency today at X, right? They're prepared, they're ready. If something was to happen, if they need to, they can call in additional units. We have a statewide mutual aid plan that allows us, if something was to happen, we can call in units from Marion County and Clay County and everywhere else. So the situation here will get handled from a public safety standpoint. Without us being through the full application process and special events process that would have normally been done, there's a lot of unknowns for Putnam County. But I mean, I think they've been addressed. I mean, it's all being addressed through Alachua County. I hate that you guys are being drug into it, but it's not truly ours. Yes, it's sitting right on our border, but it's not ours, right? So if there's any questions, we'll absolutely take them. But I think we're in okay shape. And if something was to happen, we're prepared. But we'll let our folks know that it's happening these 3 days. And if there's something that happens, I talked to the sheriff. If we can he can make a call over there and have it stopped, right? If it's something that really is an intimate threat, we'll make sure it's eliminated.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes, and I appreciate that. I did promise to keep the board up to date, so you did that, and I appreciate it. One of the things you might be hearing about too, fellow board members, is the food pantry in Hollister is losing their, or not losing their lease, they're giving up their lease. They wanted to talk to us about the Hollister Fire Department, but that's not a fit either. So if you'd like to kind of expound on that too, Mr. Grimes, you and I have talked about that.
Yeah, so my issues with using one of our fire departments is we have a lot of capital assets that are stored inside there that maybe not necessarily could be watched as you got people coming in and out. I mean, if you just take, for instance, you guys just did it, one of those portable radios that's kept inside that truck is $8,000. I mean, and if somebody doesn't check it after the food pantry, it's gone. AED, med bags, firefighting equipment. It's just not a great fit in a volunteer station where, you know, you could potentially not have somebody represented there. It's probably a great location, but just the wrong fit, right? And so it's also, the other thing we got to remember is the fire station there sits on state property. So not only would they have to have clearance from us, they're going to have some kind of clearance from the state of Florida. So we lease land from the state of Florida that our building is on. So the property doesn't belong to us. So we're going to stack cars and stuff up inside of a state facility. So there's a lot of issues with using particularly Hollister as an example of where it just might not fit. So that was just when Commissioner Harvey sent it to me, that was just kind of my initial thoughts were, is this probably a great location and it's a great building, but it's just not a good fit. So.
Thank you for that.
All right, you're welcome. And the last thing I want to do is say thank you to all of my fellow board members for all the service that you've done, and wish you a Merry Christmas, you and your family, and I'll see you next year in 2026.
All right, very good. Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
I hope I'll be a little lighter than some of that. Three things real quick. Had a few questions about that little animal services enforcement project we have going on. It is moving forward. We've made progress in the space. There are a few logistical hurdles that are slowing us down a little bit, but we're moving forward and things are looking positive. I've been working on a possible project, a little joint workshop with the county school board and ourselves. Well, that's a scheduling nightmare, but we have a potential date of February the 18th, and I'd just like my fellow commissioners to kind of hold that date. That's the day before we go to Tallahassee. We should be able to hopefully get that penciled in for everyone. So February 18th, if you put that on your calendars. We have a new program going on at the fairgrounds this year. Festival of Lights is I don't know how to describe it, but it's a pretty big deal. They're going to have a light display that you can walk through. They'll have ice skating, crafts, food, train ride. It's something that we haven't had in our community in the past. It's from December 11th through the 14th, and it's from 5 to 10 each night. And it's going to be a kind of an exciting program, engage kids, adults. I mean, I don't know how far you have to go to ice skate, but you know, you can run down to the fairgrounds and ice skate. So anyway, I'd invite everybody to come out. I think there's a $10 fee. It'll be well worth it. So come and enjoy the Festival of Lights at the Putnam County Fairgrounds, the 11th through the 14th. I'm going to be ice skating. Yeah, man.
Video time.
Madam Chair, just because Mr. Newbold, thank you for mentioning the Fair Authority. Just so you guys know, you had given us an initiative to get that last roof redone on the Mary Phillips building. That PO has been issued, and it was, I think, $11,000 or $12,000. So each one of y'all did not have to spend the full allocation that you did to it, but that permit is in the process. The contractor's been awarded, and the permit's been issued. So that roof will be going on very shortly onto that Mary Phillips building.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I have. Merry Christmas to you guys. It's been a great year, and looking forward to good things in the coming.
Thank you. Commissioner Palacio, you're recognized.
I have a laundry list, I'm sorry.
All right.
Commissioner Newbold, I didn't, if you set a time on a location for the school board joint?
We'll meet in this room. It will likely be a morning meeting. We're
But
working
no
out logistics.
on time yet?
Don't have a time yet.
Okay, thank you. Gonna jump all around here, y'all know how I am. Just as it hits me, way back to where we discussed the person coming in here and causing a problem with our staff and being rude and talking vulgar. or possibly endangering any of our employees or anyone else, possibly he needs to take a ride with our fellow here in the back of the room in the green down to, on Highway 19 and spend some time down there and hopefully meditate and rethink his actions. Ms. Young, the indigent burial, have you worked on some possible numbers to come back to the local funeral homes with?
I have. I'm planning, we can do it now, or I was going to plan to put it on the agenda for the 13th. We reached out to about 6 counties that were just less than our population and kind of our surroundings. So I have a great number of survey responses from those counties, and we can discuss that in January.
Great, January, that'd be great. We can
Okay.
discuss that then. How are we coming with our letter to the lady in California on the Fort Gates Ferry, possibly getting use of her land if we can procure the funding to rebuild the ferry?
So I've been going over some of that. I actually want to talk to you right after the meeting about kind of what the scope of that looks like.
All right, sounds good. Go back to the VA and the IT department being moved over here and those type things. Coming from the private sector, it's different for me to understand. I've never given anybody a budget. If I told the man I wanted a doghouse and he said, "What's your budget?" and I said $500, I'm pretty sure it's going to come in at $499, and that don't work for me. I don't know if how that works in government, but you know, we let them put forth their best foot forward, and you know, I'd like to say somebody have to explain that to me better.
So we have to have a budget, right? But that's one of the questions, and we have to, I mean, if we try to answer it to the vendors when they're in the room, is they do like to have, and we don't have to tell them, right? But it also, it can work in the reverse. If our budget's $100,000 and the project's probably gonna be $500,000, we have to disclose, it would behoove us, because it would keep them from having to waste their time going to, well, I can't even do this project. So, I mean, it does kind of work both ways of that, right? A lot of times we don't disclose how much it is. But if we don't have a budget to work in, right, from you guys to give to us to go out and procure it, it's really a difficult thing, right? And so unless we go out there and just say, because what the truly is that the vendors are going to want to, is it funded, right? Because if it's not funded, why are we spending 30 days of our time putting together a proposal? And I mean, because it's not like this stuff is free to them, right? It's not like me coming out to your house and giving you an estimate to build the doghouse, right? It didn't cost me anything, but when they have to engage an engineer to come work with them, to design a set of plans for them, to submit to us, they're spending their real dollars. So it is a little bit different. It's, if we were to go procure an engineer and have engineer drawings and all that stuff done, maybe a little different scenario. But sometimes we can see where it works a little better if we had them on the same team, because then they've cut some of those unneeded costs out of the project, right? Whenever, like I think Mrs. Young explained it very well yesterday. If we should have went left with the pipe and we designed it right, now the two of them got to come together and decide whether it's right or left, right? So if they're on the same page as they're designing it, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier for that. So that's kind of why we need to establish a budget from you guys. And I mean, it's a matter of, because when we do it, it's a matter of them really truly getting on the computer and Googling this meeting. And when you guys establish a budget, they know what it is anyway.
You make sense. I make sense. I mean, it's just, I think Commissioner Alexander said we need to have maybe a meeting that we sit down and we list things 1, 2, 3, and 4 is how the boat ramp, the pantry pride building, the VA, the whatever, and come up with what we can afford and what approximate numbers of what these things are going to cost. And don't take anything personal right here, but kicking the can down the road, I'm tired of it. I'm ready to stomp on the can and throw it. Just get going, you know, make some things happen. I think that that may conclude me for this time, but you know me, I may come back.
Might be like Josh.
I wave my hand again, but thank you.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, best of everything. See y'all on 26.
See y'all on 26. Okay, so a couple things that we have. I want to mention that we did have 9 dog adoptions over the weekend, and so I'm very thankful for our staff for doing that. They participated in the Porch Fest, and they also participated in, I think there was something in another, Mandarin, thank you. And there are 2 dog events coming up, adoption events at the new Putnam County Animal Services Building, Saturday, December 13th and Saturday, December 20th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the adoption fees being waived. So we are over capacity. We have dogs coming out the ears and every other parts. And so if somebody feels the desire to come and look at our dogs and our adoptable pets, we would glad to have you on one of those days to come and hopefully adopt a pet.
So I'm gonna put a shameless plug.
Yeah,
Just
please.
while we talk about dogs coming out our ears. We also have a great foster program. If you'd just like to give a little pup a home for the holidays, or anything that we can do to alleviate that capacity in the shelter and truly get some dogs some socialization opportunities and just opportunities to kind of integrate into families. It is not something you on the foster program, you can return the animal, obviously with no issues, but if you'd like to kind of explore that as well.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. We have been very busy as county commissioners, going to a lot of different events, sometimes 3 and 4 events on a Saturday. And so I just want to thank my fellow commissioners for being so involved in our community. I know that the people see it, and I'm glad that we are a very involved community and board. And then I also want to say a shout out to downtown Palatka. They look great, y'all. If you haven't been down, take your kids down. They are decorating all of the windows are being decorated. The lights are nice at night. The courthouse looks great. The riverfront looks great, and it's just a festive time to be downtown. And I went down there Saturday and to get something. Well, actually, I went to an event Saturday. I went to the 5K, and the vibe downtown was really cool. Like, there were so many things going on. You had the 5K, you had the Porch Fest, you had the boat show. There was boats out on the river. It wasn't a show, but the toy boats were out on the river, and the farmers market. And then there was something at the Azalea, the market that's at Azalea Brewery. So many things going on. People just walking up and down the street shopping. It was just really, really a good vibe downtown, and that's what we want to see. And don't forget, next year I'm going to be hitting you up for that community Christmas tree. That's coming up, but I'll work on that at the beginning of the year. A couple things legislatively. One other thing, they had the ribbon cutting for the park on the riverfront, and Commissioner Alexander and Commissioner Palatka attended. So thank you for doing that, and that'll be great downtown to have that new park on the riverfront. Rural County Days, January 21st and 22nd, headed up by the Chamber of Commerce. Putnam County Day, February 19th on the 22nd floor of the Capitol Building, headed up by the County Administration team. And then any other updates that we need to give, Julianne? We talked about the city meeting. Commissioner Newbold, you talked about a joint meeting with the school district coming up. I think that's all I have. Rural Days are January 21st and 22nd in Tallahassee, where we'll be presenting our legislative priorities. And then February 19th is our Putnam County Day. And with that, I think that's all we have. I want to say thank you for a great 2025. It's crazy to think we're going to be going into 2026. But thank you all for your service and everything you do for the community. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.